it's really important to have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my God.
Yo! Who is this DJ?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about impermanent loss.
But really, at the end of the day, it's just the matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom, so we can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto degenerates, ducks and squirrels, welcome to the DGen Roundtable's Whiskey Wednesday special episode. I have joining me tonight Mr. Neil for T-Shares, the founder of TrueDeFi.io, as well as my good buddy, Mr. Vets in Crypto, fellow Marine, Semper Fidelis Amigo, starter of the Vic Foundation and of the Vets in Crypto Everything. So, gentlemen, welcome. It's good to see you guys tonight. Thank you for joining me on this fantastic Whiskey Wednesday. Mr. Neil for T-Shares, how you doing, broski?
Oh yeah, thanks for having me, Will. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm doing well. Yeah, it's been a busy day for me. It's always busy with True DeFi, what we build and what we do in our ecosystem. So there's always something going on. I did an AMA earlier today and did all our work in the background, development work. It's never ending. You know, when you build stuff and try to grow a system that people can utilize and earn yield, it's always a lot of work. We enjoy it though.
Hell yeah, Mr. Vets, broski, how are you doing, dude?
Yeah, Semper Fidelis, Double Dog. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
It's been a while since we've had you on stream. And Mr. Neil for T-Shares, I don't know if we've had you on. We were talking in the green room earlier. I don't remember if we've ever done a stream before, but welcome back. But yeah, Vets broski, I see you're wearing a fantastic T-shirt there, I must say. Yeah.
I mean,
shout out to everybody with bad ideas.
I mean, I think this shirt suits me so well, and I'm trying to mimic you. I didn't have time to professionally cut the sleeves off, but they are half-assed rolled up, kind of, So my gig line. I'm working on the gig line for those in the military that everything's got to line up. But hey, at least I'm kind of matching the uniform of the day. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, dude, it is good to see. And for those of you guys that wish that you had a bad idea T-shirt, what you should do is go to Hex Meetups, where I'm at, and I have extra T-shirts, and I give people awesome T-shirts. So there you guys go. There's a little bit of secret sauce for you. But yeah, it's good to see you, Vets. It's good to see you, Mr. Neil. We're going to be talking today a lot about the Vic Foundation, the Hero Token, and some of the stuff that goes on over at True DeFi. Mr. Neil, for the folks at home who have never seen you before, who are you and what is it that you do, broski?
All right, yeah. I'm Neil for T-Shares. I've been around for a while. I got introduced to the crypto around 2019, 2020. Got involved with Hex, with Richard Hart, did the whole thing, followed them through into the Pulse Chain sacrifices, PulseX, etc., like everybody else, and took part of that. And then I was really enthralled with the DeFi itself as a tool for escaping the traditional finance, stranglehold that they have on our dollars. And so I thought it was a very neat concept to have better ROI with crypto than with savings accounts and anything else to do with fiat currency. And so through the course of time, I was involved with Tetras, and still am, with the Tetra ecosystem and building strategies to people to understand how to use DeFi and link up different yield strategies and making different yield loops to grow their bags with their tokens. And so that kind of is where I came in earlier into the Pulse Chain ecosystem, Hex space. People knew me from that. Then over the course of time, Divine Providence brought me together with my team members, my fellow founders, Daniel, who's a token writer, and our dev and executioner, to develop True DeFi. And we can talk a little bit more of that a little later, but we developed True DeFi as a means to develop DeFi protocols as an ecosystem, and we have our first 2 protocols out, True2X and TrueFarms.io. So, and Hero is a part of those ecosystems as a partner, and we are supporting it in some way benevolently as well. So, and we like to look at ourselves as a protocol agnostic DeFi service platform.
Hell yeah, man. And gentlemen, by the way, I have a question that I totally forgot to ask at the beginning of the show, but it is Whiskey Wednesday. If you happen to be sipping on something delicious and fantastic, I have some little nips of Fireball because I totally forgot, and I fortunately carry an emergency stash of emergency alcohol just for these exact scenarios. Mr. Neil, what are you sipping on there, broski? And then and Vets, we'll go to you next.
Yeah, this is what do I have here? This is Irish whiskey.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Very nice. What about you, Vets? What do you got?
We are kicking it tonight with some, some Johnny Walker Blue Label. Yeah,
There you go.
we're gonna go up. I heard we are gonna be on stream with Will Stevenson, so I had to, bust out the good stuff.
Oh,
So,
very
hey.
nice. You flatter me, broski. You flatter me. So some
Yeah.
Johnny Walker and some Irish whiskey and some cheap American, party sauce. So we got it going tonight, gentlemen. We got to go it tonight. Speaking of things that we got going, we've got some fucking chat motherfucking shout outs going. Ladies and germs, if you guys are sipping on anything fantastic and awesome tonight, be sure to tell us in the comments. We've already got one fine patriotic American telling us about how he's drinking Yingling beer. By the way, Yingling, for those of you who don't know, Yingling is made in China. Yingling, it's right there in the name. Definitely not made in Pennsylvania. Definitely not made by an American company. That's a Chinese company, broski. So shout out to all the Chinese people making excellent and awesome beers, and all the people that I'm going to piss off with that comment. But before. Not too long ago, I made the link for this stream, and the first one in the show was Mr. Diamond Hand Degenerate, who said, "First is best, or first best, absolutely, broski. For some reason, your comment did not show up on YouTube, and you were indeed the first person to post a comment. So good to see you, broski, Mr. Diamond Hand Degenerate. Welcome to the show. Glad we could have you, and yes, indeed, you are the first. Next up, we got Moonpilled Rational Optics showing up right before we go live, saying, "Cheers, gentlemen. Cheers right over to you, good sir." Mr. Moonpilled Rational Optics is a real person. I've met him in real life, and he's a good real life friend of mine, just like Mr. Vets in Crypto here, as well as my brother, Mr. Sam Stevenson, who says he loves this show. Absolutely, broski. I love you too. Thank you, Sam, for hopping on by and stopping in the chats. I will see you when you get home shortly, so that'll be nice. Sam's out picking up some delicious foods. We're also joined by, believe it or not, Mr. Vets in Crypto himself right here on screen saying bang, bang. Good to see you, broski. As well as we are joined by Hex Pacific Northwest. Good to see you, Hex PNW, with the happy faces and everything. I believe I know Hex PNW from the from many things. But from specifically, we met in real life, not just on stream, over at the Pulse Chain 369 tour. And I'm pretty sure that Hex Pacific Northwest has some fantastic and awesome Bad Idea t-shirts as well. So shout out to all the Bad Idea t-shirt crew, and shout out to everybody. Oh, yes. And please post the Vic group and Telegram link. Yes, I will certainly do that, good sir. But that concludes the chat motherfucking shout outs. And make sure that you guys, again, tell us if you're sipping on anything. Tell us if you got some fantastic drinking going on. And also if you guys got any questions during the show for myself, for Mr. Neil, or for Mr. Vex in Crypto, then please feel free to throw those into the chat. And yes, she lets us know that she does indeed have a shirt. Most excellent and fantastic. I do love the Pacific Northwest. For those of you guys that don't know, I grew up in Port Angeles, Washington, a beautiful tiny little town that has since turned into a bit of a political nightmare. But, it's still a beautiful place to live. And I do love the Pacific Northwest. It is one of my favorite places to visit. As long as I don't stay there too long and it breaks my wallet, because everything up there is fucking expensive as shit, man. So
between rotting your brain and burning through your wallet, taxes, it's crazy. I don't even want to get started on Washington State and politics and taxes and you're a smart man for not being here anymore. So kudos to you.
Yeah, I still have.
You could be living in New York City, so.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it can be worse. It can, right?
It could certainly be worse. If you had to when I left Washington to go join the Marine Corps, I only visited when I came. I still have my Washington State ID. I still have a driver's license out of Washington,
Okay.
but I want to at some point I want to domicile over in New Hampshire but do it without like declaring residency, because when you declare residency, there's a whole chain of events that happens afterwards that I'm just not particularly interested in. So studying up on that and learning about it, but I gotta say, man, if you want to move to a state that is like nature-wise very similar to Washington without the big giant trees and everything, New Hampshire is
Yeah.
the place to go. And they got all the crazy libertarians and a bunch of machine gunners, so it's fucking super
It's like
cool now.
yeah, yeah, good hybrid of things, right?
Hmm. Most
For sure.
fantastic. Well, let's go ahead
Yeah,
and
yeah.
dive into the elephant in the room, gentlemen. We're here to talk about the is the hero is not a protocol. Hero is the token that is for the vets in crypto community. So I'm just going to go ahead and should I pull up a screen share here, Mr. Vets, for the folks at home,
Yeah,
or
if you would, if we
should
can
I?
get some illustration, we can start with the vicfoundation.com,
Okay,
and we'll kind of
vicfoundation.com.
run
Cool. So
run
I
through it.
have the link tree. I'll just go ahead and share screen, and you can help me drive. So let's see. I will pull up
And or if you
on
look
my.
in the chat, do you have help in the back? I believe you have the lovely Mrs. Do you have help to it or no? Are you solo?
We do not have
Okay.
we do not have help. I just realized that I had two tabs there playing audio and things. So let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and change this screen size to, I think, one that is helpful and useful. Let's take a look. How does that look? That looks pretty good. So for those of you guys that are unaware, they have a link tree, or linktree/vets in crypto, and that's all spelled correctly. So I'm guessing this is the website right here. Yeah.
Yeah, give it a click. Let's see where
Okay.
it just
Let's
takes us
see
there.
what happens. All right. Very nice. Beautiful. So this is the Vic Foundation for those of you guys who haven't seen it. And Vic stands for Vets in Crypto.
Yeah,
So
lucky guess, right?
what do we got here, Vets? What is this?
Yeah, so overall, by the name, that's a crypto, the handle I've been going by for a few years now. I just really wanted to find my own niche in the community. Everyone does, charts and TA and this and that. Um, and coming into the ecosystem, everyone buys all those flashy things and everybody takes. Well, I just want to find something that we can give back, because I believe there will be this time around. We're going to be okay. We'll be well off, and some will want to, make some donations, right, and or pay it forward with some extra, profits that they may have. So doing that good thing, we created the Vic Foundation. It is a legitimate 501c3 organization. And that comes into play on the website here. We can either, and so I think this is all going to be really good for onboarding as well for no coiners, because we have where we can bring in no coiners and introduce them to like Coinbase Commerce. If they click on the donate button, it'll take them to Coinbase Commerce. They can go that way, especially with stable coins and everything, and your banks now. So that they're just going to make it easier and easier in that regard. And then there's there's the donate button to make a donation, right? Regular traditional route. And you will get a receipt on the back end that will satisfy the IRS needs. So while I'm going to process this, Hero and Vets in Crypto, even though I am based in the US, this is geared towards all military veterans and all first responders from around the world globally. Okay. So I am based, I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran along with Will Stevenson here. So yes, there's some Americana mixed in here, but don't get me wrong. We have a lot of great allies around the world, and at the end of the day, it's all the same stuff. We're just, regardless of where you plant your feet, in that regard. So yeah, so scrolling down here, we have a swap for the hero token. You can click the play button real quick. I don't know if the audio will come through. Maybe if your
I guess
tab's muted.
we're fixing to find out. Give me a thumbs up for the two of you if the audio plays.
Yeah.
Oh.
From the battlefields to the blockchain, hear the call, hear the sound. Heroes standing tall, champions all around. A mission carved in code on Pulse Chain's sacred ground. Uplifting vets and first responders, tokens value coming unbound, bound. Give it up, shout out to that. It's freedom or bust. With every strengthened step, the legacy and just we trust. Raise a flag for heroes, marching through and through. Veterans and heroes all. Pulse Chain's finest crew.
Yeah. Hey.
All right.
Got some old photos. Yeah.
Is this something from you on the? This looks like an LCU or something.
It is, man. Landing craft unit. Yeah. So I was on the 13th MEU. MEU stands for Marine Expeditionary Unit, and the ARG is an amphibious ready group. Yeah, beautiful. Which consists of 3 ships. They're attached to the battle group, right? So you have the aircraft carrier, the battleships, the submarines, and then you have a marine contingency, the ARG. So typically, and correct me if my memory is fuzzy anywhere, typically there's usually 2 MEUs deployed. One covers like the Indian Ocean, typically the other one's in the Mediterranean. And yeah, so I was on the I don't know if there's a hovercraft, an LCAC. There you go, right there in the top left. So I was on. My MOS is a 1345 heavy equipment operator. So I drove a big front end loader with a bunch of mow mat for the beach and stuff. But that LCAC there. I was on the LFSP landing force shore party, and we'd be like the first ones that would come lay the matting down, so that way we could start bringing the vehicles off when the LCUs come in, and obviously all the hard grunt stuff would be done already. God bless those guys. But you know, somebody's got to bring them food, chow, water, fuel, all that good stuff, right?
That's crazy that you were part. So you were part of a LFSP. Those had since been disbanded by the time that I got in, and I don't want to spend too long rehashing old Marine Corps days. But I don't know if I told you this, bro. But I'm one of those red patch Marines. That's what I did.
Bro, I was at first LSB. Landing Support Battalion. I'm originally a red patcher. Originally, yes.
Oh, no kidding. Oh,
yes.
Well, you will appreciate this then.
Do you still have a hat? You got a red patch somewhere?
I got the fucking tattoos, dude.
Ah, that's
fucking
awesome.
Tattooed them on my legs. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know you were a red patcher. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
For the folks at home who don't know what this means, landing support, red patch Marines are the guys that they wave in the helicopters, they load shit, they unload shit, they work on flight lines, they work on rail yards, all that stuff. I had no idea you were landing support, bro. That's hilarious. That is super cool. What a small world.
That's what happens.
For some reason, I thought you were an HE operator, HE mechanic or something. That is so fun.
Yeah, close, but yeah, you never know. That's what happens when a couple jarheads and cocktails, you get together, and next thing you know, like shit, it's a small world, right?
Yeah. So back to the topic at hand here, right? The Vic Foundation. So what is the goal of the Vic Foundation? So it's a 501c3 charity where people can send their money to and things. What is the product of the 501c3? What actually happens with all the money that goes into the foundation?
So the idea and concept, so the other half of this, right? So this has just been a layered approach over time with my own money, doing my thing. So originally years ago, I started the VETS token, VETS, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a standard just to represent veterans, period, just to get it out there, right? But now I worked with Build the Tech guys, Brandon and them, and they helped. They did all the coding and everything for the Hero protocol. Okay. What's up, Hex Glenn? Solid
Yep.
supporter. Appreciate you, Hex Glenn.
Yeah, we got Hex Glenn as well as Mr. Moondog, fellow veteran. Take a knee, drink the water, gentlemen. It's good to see you, broski. Welcome, gentlemen. Glad you guys could be with us tonight.
Oh yeah. So so the Hero protocol was born. Initially I just wanted to get it out there because we were coming up on Veterans Day, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, what better day to launch a protocol such as this on a Veterans Day, right? So if you pull, I don't know if you wanted to pull up the chart deck screen or not, but anyways, it starts on Veterans Day, the charting, right? So that was the main thing. Got it up and running. The Hero is going to generate, and it's a closed loop system. So there's able or arbitrage bots. Okay, so that's one. And I got some ideas from Neil and True DeFi as far as bringing outside third party, not third party, but just outside revenue generators to help support a protocol. Because over the years, I think a lot of us have noticed and found that it's hard internally for protocols to generate revenue and support themselves and do all the things that they want to do. So yes, Hero is a fee token. Um, it it scales at, it starts at 12% and then scales down over a 90-day period down to the resting fee level of 6%. So there's a 6% buy, 6% sell. And that obviously everything goes to the auto LPs of Hero and Wrap PLS, and also Vets token and Wrap PLS there. So we're helping support those, and then the rest of it goes into the treasury. The treasury is solely dedicated to supporting military, veteran, and first responder organizations, and or if we come up with some grant ideas in the future as well. So we're leaving it open as far as that. What's going to drive that on the roadmap, we'll touch, we do have a white paper as well, is a DAO. And the DAO, in my mind, how it's going to work, it's not built yet. It basically, from the holders, right? You got to hold Hero itself, and the holders, based on their weight, will have their voting. And every 3 months, so we'll do looking at quarterly voting periods. So let's say we'll load 3 charities in there, and the one charity that gets voted on that quarter, whatever's in the kitty, it will be sent out to XYZ charity. Now, not all charities are, digital and this and that, and one may have to like legit cut a check, right? So I really, thinking this a little bit, I really needed, I don't want to be stuck with the taxes, right? So hence the 501c3, knowing that there might have to be some accountability, some hard check, what have you, written out to just different organizations. So that's where we came with that. Now some game theory to this and additional utility is there. I'm working currently right now with Alfonso. Man, I'll pull up later his X profile, but he's an awesome NFT artist. He's been around the community for a while. It's got an amazing story, but he really identifies with the protocol. He's drafting some images for the NFT Hero collection. There'll be about 1,000 pieces. We'll have, common, rare, all that stuff. But much like, and we'll kind of touch on the Mint protocol, the Fit Farm, and the True Farm. But if you're holding, to help raise money, you'll buy the NFT. Holding the NFT in the wallet and the address that you're making transactions with will lower your fee structure. Okay. Other protocols, it's zero, but hey, we need fees. It's all going to Treasury and to a good cause. So we need to still keep raising money in that regard. There'll be some other utility mixed in with holding the NFT as well. And so in that regard, we can touch base. So yeah, finishing up with the website here. It's always a work in progress, right? So again, the mission is to pay it forward to organizations that assist military veterans and first responders, for sure.
Yeah. So quick question. I'm a Marine. Does all of the protocol fees or not the fees, but does all the money that goes from the protocol go into my pocket since I am a military veteran? And does this all benefit me? Where does the money go?
The money is going to go to first. It's not going to go to the mainstream charitable organizations like Wounded Warriors or Tunnel for Towers, because there are so many. There's so many organizations out there that do good that don't get the recognition because they don't have the money, or they just they don't have actors supporting the cause, what have you. But man, they do honest, kick-ass work, and those are the smaller niche grassroots organizations that I want to identify, put up for a vote, and we then literally the money will go to them. So if you have a cause or something, perhaps we could put it up for a vote, and it could potentially benefit your cause, or what you're working towards to benefit others, right? This isn't for anybody individually. It could be, again, I said grants, right? You could put up a grant proposal. Maybe somebody's really down and out. There's a lot of military veterans that need housing, that are on the streets. We come across a lot of cases. People just need a hand, right? But it's trying to make the biggest impact to affect as many as you can. But you got to start somewhere. Obviously, there's a gazillion organizations out there, yada yada. Whether this takes off or not, I don't know. But it's I'm gonna, sure as hell as I am, I'm putting money towards it and gonna give it a shot. As you're going down here, the challenge coin, right? Touch on that for sure. That's a beautiful in history in that regard. And we're going to have our own challenge coins.
I
At
have
the
one of your Vets and Crypto challenge coins. Yes, I should have grabbed that out of the truck too while I was down there, but I keep that in my truck.
Well, what happens if everybody else pulls up their coin and you don't have your coin? What happens?
Yep, then you're the one that asked to buy the drink. So for those of you guys that were not in the military, the deal is like you're supposed to always carry a coin with you, and I suppose that it like the history of that comes from this post right here that you can see. Like during World War one of the guys got shot down, and he had a coin around his neck, and later he escaped captivity. And the only reason that the French let him live is because he had one of these coins, and they recognized the insignia. So, that's the challenge coin has since been a staple of not like official military not official military usage, but like a lot of veterans and a lot of military carry a challenge coin with them everywhere they go, just in case they find themselves at a bar and some other veteran pulls out a challenge coin. You don't want to be the one guy without the challenge coin. It's like a social pressure thing. But anyways, it's all fun and dandy now. But yeah, they're pretty cool and pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's been adopted pretty mainstream. Because, for example, what I love is having a president that's pro America. If you look at behind him, on his desk, he's got a big ass just beautiful display of unit coins, because each unit has their own detailed coins, etc. But he has he's got his own presidential coin. And yeah. And if you haven't seen it, so the Marines, there's the Marine Security Guard Detachment, MSG duty, which is really cool. I kind of really wanted to do that. But they're the ones standing post outside the White House, at Air Force, or on the grass at Marine One. the helicopter and whatnot. And dude, he legit, that's what, when you go, he breaks rank and he goes and he shakes a Marine's hand or whatever, inside his hand, he's given them the presidential token in that regard. It's such a beautiful honor and tradition in that regard, in my opinion.
I like this that it's passed with a handshake. I was not aware of this actually. I was today years
Oh,
old. I was in the
yeah.
Marine Corps for 8 years and a month, and I had no idea that the way that a
Yeah.
challenge coin is passed on is
Yeah,
via
yeah, yeah.
handshake. So shout
So,
out to all
yeah.
everyone that's got the challenge coins out there, of which I have many, many. But like I had never noticed that they're passed with a handshake. So that's pretty cool. Well, excellent. Well, let's involve Mr. Neil for T-shares here, because he's been quiet for a while, and we've been yakking on and on and on
Yeah.
about the Marine Corps and
We,
everything. So Neil, you
It's
have
okay.
a protocol as well that is like that you and Vets and Crypto are sort of kind of partnered up, or you guys at work hand in hand. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure.
Or actually, where can I go and find it? Is it
yeah, let's
All
see
right.
their
So
website. Yeah.
yeah, you can go to double.truedefi.io. It's
double
TRUDEFI.io.
true.defi.io?
Yeah, double.truedefi.io. That will be the D app.
Oh, uh-oh. True without an E, right?
Correct.
Spelled it. Okay. There we go. Site doesn't support
TRU.
TRU. Did I spell this right? Double
No,
dot
it's
true.
double.truedefi. It's TrueDefi is one word.
Oh,
TRU
TrueDefi is one word.
DeFi.io.
Okay. Here we go. Look at that. Hey, I figured it out. All right. True
All right.
2x.
Now, because you don't have a wallet and stuff, it's gonna be hard. You're not gonna be able to access the DApp without a wallet attached. That's
Okay.
just the way the system's set up. So there's no way to even see the integration amplifier.
Oh,
But I can
so I
share
should-
my
He
screen.
might
if you
have a
want me
show. He might have a show wallet. You know.
to. You got just a show wallet or some.
no, I do not logged into this profile. Should I if you have
Let me share
a
screen.
screen of it? Yeah. I am ready.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. I got it right here.
Go ahead and pull myself off. Bam, add to stage. All right, sweet.
There you
So
go.
what have we here?
All right. So I'll do a quick brief understanding what we're talking about here. This is the home page. What TrueDefi is, in as concise as I can make it, is TrueDefi is a DeFi service protocol that works off an auction house model. If you're not familiar with what an auction house is, what it is it allows users to bid on, in this case, true shares based upon the deposits. And the only currency you use is Pulse. We do not have a token. So nothing to sell. There's no liquidity pool. There's no chart for True DeFi. It is strictly a DeFi service protocol that allows you to double your Pulse. You put in 1,000 Pulse, you wait your time, you get 2,000 Pulse out. It is that simple.
What's the time?
It works off a series of miners. There's a mining pool. When you make a deposit, you deploy. After you deposit, you deploy a miner. The miner then mines the Pulse from the pool, eventually doubles, and it's all you can earn is a double. You cannot earn on any miner any more than a double. It's designed that way on purpose to keep early adopters from soaking up yield and to keep whales from manipulating the system. And so I'll walk you through real quick. This is the auction house. In this auction house, because it's an auction house model, it works on a 24-hour system. Every 24 hours, the system resets and allows new deposits to come in. And every day, there are shares available to bid on by the depositors, and the amount of they deposit determines how many shares they get based upon everybody else's deposit. So if 1 billion Pulse comes in any given day, that 1 billion Pulse is distributed amongst 1 million shares, less what is just deducted off the top every day, it's a little more complicated. But so in this case, I have a deposit that was made today for 1 million Pulse for this particular wallet. Today is day 60 of the protocol, because you can see in 13 hours and 25 minutes, the protocol will reset and start over again for the next day. We have data here at the top that shows we've had over 300 billion Pulse deposited through the system for the last 60 days. That's not TVL. That's in and out, right? So it's deposits in the system. And today we distributed 1.01 billion pulse to all the participants, which is over $10,000 worth of pulse. So this is a very, very unique and powerful system without a token, and it's free to use. Meaning you just make a deposit, pay the gas fee, and that's it. We don't take anything off the top. It's your pulse. When you put it in, you have to wait your time. You start at 0 and work your way all the way up to 2x. So like
you don't have a token?
Pulse, no token. There's
What?
no token to 2x.
Oh.
Now, this is unusual because, like, well, how does that work? Well, it's a service protocol. It's not a token. So we don't have to, you're not giving something of value to us, and us give you something of lesser value, whatever that may be. We're saying, look, you put your pulse in, you put it through the system, and we have a whole bunch of mechanisms in the background that work through and make the system work properly and be sustainable, that you get double the pulse out. And that is it in a nutshell. Now, in the system, we do a lot of things. And one of the things we have, and this is what Hero Token is part of, is our integration amplifier. Now, integration amplifier is a partner program. If you come on our miner page, when you click it, it shows you a whole bunch of different links, all these different protocols who have participated and say, hey, we want an ID link, and it don't cost anything. We'll put it up. And so, like in this ID link, you see, well, sorry, my UI, my computer's kind of acting funny, but the Hero Token here at 538. All right, there's the Hero Token. Now, what it's going to do is when people make a deposit in the auction house, and they make a deposit, there's a reference number, which is an ID number. So if you go to make a deposit, now I can't do it in this one because I've already made a deposit. You can choose one of those ID numbers to utilize. So if you choose a Hero Token, which is number 538, and I put it in the chat, what happens is you get shares. Let me see here. I'm going to go over here. I'll show you all this.
Before we get too crazy into the what, can we real quick explore the why? Like, what is it that people are doing? What is the incentive to use this protocol? Like, I don't understand what it is yet, and I also don't understand the why. Can we
okay, sure.
Can we touch on that, like an elevator pitch sort of thing?
Sure, yeah. I'll do another brief elevator pitch. All right, so the concept of True DeFi is simple. We allow you to double your tokens. That's that simple. You can put in 1,000 pulse, and you will get 2,000 pulse out. It is that simple. There's no token to buy. There's no sacrifice. It's completely team funded, free to use. It is that simple.
Now, if people have red flags that pop up when they hear you can double your stuff by putting it into my thing, what would be the answer to that concern?
That is, yes, it sounds too good to be true, and you should ask questions, and that's exactly right. And so we built an entire system, and it took us 2 years to develop this. So this is not something that is designed as a pump and dump or anything like that, because there's nothing to sell, right? We're not selling you anything. We're not charging you anything, right? So when you make a deposit, you just pay the gas, and that's it, and your pulse goes in. But the system is designed to work like an auction house. And because it works off a distribution model of value, the pulse comes from 4 different places. So the value, the pulse you're earning and doubling comes from 4 different sources. The users, which make up about 80% of the mining pool, which this number here is 1.1 billion, represents that 80%. That's what was distributed today. It comes from the internal system miners, meaning we participate in our own system, obviously. And part of the distribution goes to those miners, which go through the system and leave at basically break-even point. So they contribute to volume, but do not take any profit. They're called 1XR miners. The second thing is the integration amplifier, which is all these partners have miners associated with them that are running the system, creating volume. And the third is the SRE, which stands for Strategic Reserve Engine. And so that Strategic Reserve Engine takes a portion of every day's deposits, goes out into the greater DeFi world, multi-chain, earns yield, brings that yield back to the system as fresh capital deposits. And every day, if you go on the day deposits, there's a little plus sign. You can pick on it. And yesterday we deposited 110 million pulse into the mining pool for users to use as rewards and dividends. Today was 115 million. So we deposit fresh capital from outside the system in, and this is what gives you a sustainable and guaranteed 2x to every user who participates. We can't tell you how long it'll take to 2x. It's an unknown thing for us, but we can guarantee you will happen. If you stay in, you will be satisfied. You get a 2x when you deposit.
So the 2x comes from miners and trading fees or something like that, is the long and short of it?
Not necessarily trading fees, but DeFi yield service fees from other DeFi protocols, whether it be protocols that use trading fees, whether it be we have a tax tokens like emit and TrueFarm. We use Vouch, which is part of the validator class, right? We get fees from them and things that are sustainable and contribute to real yield. Okay. So we don't have to worry about like any like type of when I say trading fees, it would be we use a DEX5, which is on Base. And what they do is they have a bond and vault system that allows you to make deposits and earn yield across multiple pools simultaneously, which are V3 type of liquidity pools, which I know it's complicated. If you know what V3 is, that's understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So where does the 2x come from?
You add all that up, it comes from there. All four places bring the value back to the system.
So other people somewhere else trading tokens on other protocols, somehow those fees wind up in your guys' hands, as well as like people that have pulse chain miners and validators, or not miners, but validators set up, that also ends up in their hands.
Correct.
So what would
and then and how that happens is a portion of every day's deposit goes out from True2x, makes deposits in other places during the yield. That's what happens. So that's where the money comes from. It comes from the system. The system deposits it, and because the SRE does what it does, it gets bigger every day.
Is the system a series of other people making transactions somewhere else that all has some sort of like tax or some sort of redirect or something like that?
Or service fee, you pay a fee to do something. You say, I want to pay a fee to do whatever, whether it's say a DEX fee.
So somewhere else off in Pulse Chain, there exists products and services that are taking a chunk off the top, and it gets sent over to you guys and added to people's money when they put their money into your thing.
Correct.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's external yield from not just Pulse Chain, but even from all over the crypto. We're looking for different places right now. It's DEX5, which is on Base, as well as Pulse Chain has emit farms, True Farms, Vouch, Rhino, Phi, and others. We're using yield from others to bring it back in True2x. That's what closes the yield loop. This is what makes it not a Ponzi, so to speak. Because if we didn't bring any fresh capital in, it would be the same pulse being recirculated. But because there's fresh capital coming in from outside, that guarantees us that the 2x's will be satisfied, even if everybody stopped participating and left today. Anybody left in would be satisfied. Okay.
One of the things I often wonder whenever I hear about yield is like, where does the there's a value that's behind the token that can be measured in dollars, can be measured in chicken eggs, can be measured in haircuts, like whatever, and so presumably when people are making transactions, there's always some sort of inefficiency somewhere. There's some sort of like, someone's paying slightly higher than like the buyer is paying slightly higher than the seller will receive, and that little fee, that little extra bit gets sent off somewhere, kind of like similar to like usury, or similar to like the government taxing people or things like that. So part of me wonders like how much inefficiency exists in the market for all of the cryptocurrency protocols to all come together and be like, I'm gonna find the inefficiency here, I'm gonna find the inefficiency there, and I'm gonna put it all together and put it in my little protocol, and then like say, okay, everybody, now come over to my thing where I've found all the places where people miss out on arbitrage opportunities, or people miss out on like tax tokens or whatever the heck. So your guys' protocol, you said you've been working on for 2 years, and it's been live for 60 days so far, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Sweet.
And we've had 300 billion pulse go through it in 60 days.
300 billion pulse. That's a lot of pulse. That's a lot of pulse.
Yes, a lot of pulse.
I wonder how many miners.
And so
I don't even know.
It's 26,343 miners have been.
Okay. That's a lot of miners. How many?
Yeah, it is.
And there's like, I want to say there's like 40 to 80,000 miners or something like that in all of Pulse Chain together. So that's
like 50,000 or something. Yeah.
Well, if you think about how value is generated, here's the thing: where does value come from? That's a good question. Where does value come from?
Yep.
Well, you and I can trade a token back and forth, but we're just trading capital, right? But if I have offer a service and you wish to participate, let's say it's a swap. I want to swap token A for token B. You're gonna have to pay a fee to do so because you got to pay a validator fee to run the network. Then you're gonna pay the DEX a fee to do so, right? So if I'm a DEX, you're paying a fee because it's something you're willing to pay to achieve a result, right? It's a service, and that's what we look into. With the tax tokens, we use emit and True Farms. Both are tax tokens, and both have special mechanics though that give them an advantage because they have a utility that most tax tokens don't. You can stake the tokens, emit True Farm, into a single side staking pool and earn EDI, which is just dollars, right? And so that gives you cash, and that cash then is turned to Pulse. That Pulse is brought back into True2X. And as well as the LP values we get for provided liquidity on top of it. So these are the fees that we get from the services that people willing to participate. And then on DexFi, it's basically trading fees from provided liquidity on V3, multiple V3 vaults over there in their bond program, which I don't have to manage personally. I just deposit the money and they manage that for us. And then we get an average APR in USDC. Come back to your Pulse Chain, buy Pulse, and make a deposit. So we're bringing value back to Pulse Chain as well as bringing value to the user in Pulse terms without having them to change their Pulse to something else. And so in this, we have the partnership program, which is what we talked about earlier about with that Vets has with the 538 Hero ID. That so when you make a deposit in the auction house, you can choose to use that ID. When you do that what we do is, since when you make a deposit, you bid on shares. Let's say you put in 1 million Pulse and you get X number of shares. So once you make a deposit and you have a miner, going smaller miners here, let's see. You have these it says 10.27 thousand P2X. That's shares. That's the shares you get. So 5% of this, if Hero is attached to this particular miner, we'll go to Hero token as a bonus, not taken from the person, but as a bonus on top. So they get 5% of the shares of this particular miner, and then they would go into Pulse, go into the system, be converted to Pulse, go through the process, and instead of 2xing and getting out, it would basically auto compound perpetually at a 75% rate. All right, and grow again and again. Now, the 25% that's profit goes out into the market and buys Hero token from the market and deposits it into a claim contract. When this is turned on, this is off now. When these claim contracts turn on, any user, regardless if they use True2X or not, can come to True DeFi. If they own any of these tokens, click the claim button and get those tokens for free. Period. No strings attached. So if Hero, there's a Hero holders, let's say that somebody owns, say 1% of the Hero supply, they get 1% of the token.
So you have to be holding said token in your wallet, right? You guys have kind of gamed this out a little bit for those that probably want to try to just, game the system and get free tokens and then dump them. It doesn't necessarily work like that.
Yeah, I mean, all right, so let's say in this case for Heroes, there's a contract that has a lot of tokens, or an OA entity exists, right? If they don't participate, those tokens will stay in the claim contract, and then the next time there's another buy and it makes a deposit, it resets. Those tokens will stay there, and it gets bigger. So what happens over time is this claim contract by default becomes a TVL. It just locks value over time because the main holders in contracts and or LP pools don't participate, obviously. So therefore, this just basically becomes a sink of value that locks the value away. So the tokens are now taken off the market, which then acts as a burn, by proxy. That's what we're offering any partner community who wants to participate. So this basically acts as a secondary buyer who comes in regularly and will buy your token off the market if people participate and use these partner links like 538 for Hero and make it a deposit in their pulse. So the user gets to double their pulse, and the hero gets 5% of that deposit in shares, perpetually going through and forever buying Hero off the market. Period. Now, that's just how it works. And then this is something that, if they want it not to be claimed, we could choose to have it burned, sent to the burn address as well. Both our options are on the table. It's up to the community and the founders or whatever to decide what they want. But this is a service that doesn't exist in crypto that allows any protocol to participate. If they bring their people over and the people participate in True to X, the protocol then gets bought off the market. Who doesn't want buy pressure? I mean, and then we're in the bear. Now imagine what happens in a bull. All right, so hero token is getting used. People choose a hero token, and in the bear, they're buying more and buying more. As pulse price goes up, that's even more heroes going to be bought off the market in time, in dollar value. And that's where we're at now in this bottom, in this crypto winter we're in, is we're seeding these type of systems. So when the bull hits, they keep moving. And when the bull's over, guess what? We still keep buying because it's growing more and more and more. So more and more hero will be bought off the market in 3 years than it is today, or even at the top of this next bull, just because of how the system works.
What is the pain that this system solves that everyone is experiencing?
This system solves the pain of PvP. When you and I participate, we both have tokens, we're trading against each other. Let's say we're in the same group. We're in a meme coin together. I got my meme coin. We got our animal coin, right? Talking hyper animal coin up. And then we're going to trade against each other because we're trying to basically extract value from the system. Because there's this competition of value extraction that exists in all crypto. It's just the way, it's just, again, it's in stocks and in bonds. It's the whole 9 yards. It's not anything unusual. It's just how finance works. But if there's no token to buy, if it's just pulse in, pulse out, you get rid of this whole PvP mentality. In fact, the opposite happens. It encourages everyone who participates that the more people who participate together, the more everybody literally can win together at a faster rate. Because you're not dumping on the other person. Because the price of pulse is a price of pulse. It's the gas token of the network. It will have whatever price chart it's going to have. We can't affect that. Right? That's a global thing. And when I say, in the greater blockchain, we can't control the price of pulse, but we can offer people a way to double their pulse. And by default, True to X acts as a 50% stop loss, because if the price of pulse goes down 50% from when you start participating and you double, you at least save 50% of the value in dollar terms, right? That's what it does, because you're acquiring units, not in dollar terms.
When you say stop loss, what do you mean?
All right, so let's say
stop loss.
Pulse is, it's 4 zeros and a 1, right, on any given day, and it goes down to 5 zeros 5. That's 50% drop, right, in dollar terms.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you double your token count, you can absorb that and still break even in dollar terms. That's what a 50% stop loss means.
Well, yeah, so like the price is going to do price things. It's going to go up, go down.
Meaning, all right, so what I'm saying is, if you have 100 tokens and they're worth $100, the price token goes down 50%. Now the token's only worth 50. But if you did it with 200 tokens at that time, you broke even in dollar terms. That's a 50% stop loss.
When the price goes down 60%, then what? Then the price is down 60%.
Then you're only upside down 10%, not 60%. You see, in dollar terms.
So people double the. Interesting. It sounds like people double their tokens through complicated systems that you guys have employed that basically take fees off of things that other people are doing, where people are doing transactions normally. So is your guys' system like a middleman service, essentially?
I would say it's a DeFi service. It is. It's a DeFi service. Not necessarily a middleman because we're not.
Right.
Yes, we get paid in the middle somewhere, but we're not taking anything from the person. We actually offer them double, straight up. And if you look down on this chart here, you see the X factor, which means on day 2 depositors who have day 3 miners, they're at a 1.54x, and they're getting close to getting out. They're already in profit. If they get out today, they're up by 50% in token count, regardless of the price of Pulse. And that's where they are. Now, when we launched, the price of Pulse was probably a little bit about 30% higher, maybe. We launched right before Christmas, so whatever the price was then. And so these people now at 1.54x in tokens. Day 3, say day 20, they're at 1.65. Now that sounds weird. Why is day 20 actually faster than day 2? But it's because of the share rate and how it works. That's a little more complicated. I don't want to get to it here because it takes a little bit of time to explain that. But the system works as designed to offer more tokens to the user. And those who participated can guarantee that they have made a lot of Pulse in True DeFi through True 2X.
Well, sure, like the guys who got in first, who took advantage of the thing.
Actually,
when it first started.
That's actually wrong.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. The people who got in on day 1 are only at a 1.26x. The people on day 20 are at 1.6x. Day 20 is actually the fastest day of ROI.
So like that's so for the people that are finding out about it now, congratulations, guys, you're 40 days late. So it's like,
well,
and that's a
actually
good thing.
no,
you're not late.
That's
right.
All right. Let me show you something, because here's the thing. True 2X
it's based off of shares. Yeah.
True 2X works. You're never really late. It's just when you get in, you get in. So it's not about being late for anything. You're always going to have value. You always have deposits. So if you come here, this is day 55. It's at 0.04x, right? So that was just a few days ago, 5 days ago. This is day 42, deposits, 0.3x. This is day 31. This is 0.5x. So this is how fast these yields are coming in. And the reason they come in at the rate they're coming in is because the people who on day 1 figured out they made a mistake. They came in all at once. We had 32 billion Pulse come in on day 1. That's a lot of Pulse.
It's about 10%.
Hmm?
About 10% of your total right now. Something like that.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah, 10%, correct. Well, what happened is when they came in on day 1, they basically front loaded the system, and they realized that the share rate was not distributed across multiple days, and they had so many shares. There's only 1 million shares per day, and divided by a lot of Pulse, and they all got a very, very, very tiny share rate, which is on our chart. We show it here that the share rates are very early on were very tiny. So what happens is when you have like day 1, the share rate was this is a table here.
Okay.
It's going to take a while to load. This wallet may not have activated.
It's a million shares a day, right? Is that like locked in forever?
Yeah. Well, okay. So yes. So the share rate is 1 million shares are generated a day. All a share is an accounting tool. You don't buy or sell them. They just exist in the system for accounting. Now, every day, the SRE makes a deposit.
On the ship, the more shares exist, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, correct. But the shares are cumulative over time globally, but the day rate changes. Right? So there's only 912,000 shares available to be purchased from people in the bid on. On day 1, there was 1 million. This number goes down every day as a function of the SRE's deposits. When SRE deposits, it takes these shares off the top and deletes them from the system. So there's fewer shares every day. And what that does is the ratio of Pulse to shares changes in the favor of the users over time as these shares are deleted. And so as every day 2x's and exits out of the system, the total global shares is deleted from the total global share rate. So there's fewer shares globally, meaning the distribution of the Pulse that goes through goes to fewer miners. Therefore, those who are in the system have faster ROIs. That's how the system works. I know it's new. and I know it's different.
Hey,
But it
believe
took 2 years to make this work. But it's working like it's supposed to. Everything is working as designed. And we are very, very pleased that
Yeah.
as of day 60, we are bringing over 100 million pulse in every day as fresh capital to the system. And we will
I will
keep
say
going
that
up and up from there.
it is an interesting protocol. I'm having a difficult time wrapping my head around it, but that's just fine. I have a difficult time wrapping my head around most things.
Hey,
So,
believe me, I use a bunch of crayons. I went through the whole box a couple times, and after repetition, it it goes off. You get in, click some buttons, start small, right? Do whatever, a million pulse, and give it a shot. See how it works with a Virgin wallet, etc. So
Yeah, and we recommend, we tell people do not ape in. Come in slowly, see how it works, and learn about it. Because when if everybody had done that day one, we'd probably have a lot smoother, start. People had already 2x'd because they didn't. It's okay, but it's okay. It still works. It's going to take a little longer than we would have anticipated. But that's okay. But now, as people participate, they need to understand that what happens when you put your pulse in, day whatever. The next day you deploy a miner, and the third day you actually start earning yield. Now you start at 0. You put 1,000 pulse in, you start at 0, then you go to 1x, which is break even, you get 1,000 pulse. Then by the time you hit 2x, you're at 2,000 pulse. It'll take whatever time it takes, right? That's a function of the shares and the day you're in. That's how it works. So we don't charge any in-stake penalties, removal, or anything like that, but you only get out whatever X factor you have. So if I go to a miner and I pick a random miner here, this miner is at a 0.7318x. I put in right here 9.72 million I made my deposit. I've only earned 7.12 million pulse so far. If I want to get that pulse out, I would have to exit. I would click this button. It would come to an option, and I've already compounded, so that's a whole other discussion. But there's only a little bit of pulse left. But I could exit the miner with whatever's here. Click the button. If I hit it, I would then be upside down and lose 0.3 pulse. I would lose all the extra pulse I could be earning. That's on me. It says, hey, you're below 1x. Don't do this. This is bad. That's dumb. But you can do it. It's your choice. It's your wallet, your keys, your coins, your crypto. We can't stop you, but you can leave at a loss if you choose to. That's not something we can control. We want you, the user, to have options. And there may be a reason you want to leave early. What if Pulse 10x is tomorrow? Heck, I'll take a loss to get out. That's a legitimate way to do it, right? Especially if I'm that far on. But anything I got above a 1x like this, let's hit this one. Yeah. Now I want to exit the miner. Hey, good. You're above a 1x. Good deal. And I can leave. So these are options that are within the system that we give users. And there's a whole way of compounding and auto compounding and all kind of stuff. We can talk about another day, but that's pretty complicated. That'll kind of blow your mind even further. But that's ways to basically accelerate the 2x ROI time in the net.
Okay. Well, I will say, it is an interesting thing, similar to many things I've seen before, and unlike many things I've seen before. And that's just my peanut brain at work, I suppose. How did you guys come to start working together?
So Vets and I met through Rip City, AJ, right? Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I mean that's one avenue. Man, yeah,
Well,
sure. Let's just go with that.
And
yeah,
Tetra.
I know.
It's been a while.
Shit goes back a while, but yeah,
it goes a while. But when we built the stuff True 2X, we said since we're protocol agnostic, we can work with anybody. We said, hey, let's Hero Token was a 501c3. We can act benevolently and support them in the integration amplifier program. And so once EMIT came out, Vets had a pair over there with EMIT they were utilizing, and we supported them over there because we use EMIT to earn yield for True 2X. Then when we forked EMIT, we came up with True Farms. And True Farms we have a Hero and a True Farm pair here, which right now is paying 244.59% APR. So If you have hero token and it's sitting in your wallet, and you're not doing anything with it, I think you can earn some extra yield if you just go ahead and pair it up, because it'd be, because why sit on idle capital, right? You do something with it, earn something.
Yeah. And being hero and what it is, like, the founder here, it's benevolent. It's always buying more. It's going towards the treasury wallet to go towards, paying it forward to different organizations as it comes about. We're creating a flywheel effect. So the original protocol farm is the emit farm. And again, the idea from the True DeFi guys, I'm working with the Rhino community, Derek and Roger over there, great guys. They're supporters of the Hero, and we're working with developers to develop a protocol that will automate this, right? Like, we want our time back. I don't want to keep clicking buttons all the time, right? Anyways, for now, we'll do it manually. But each farm, there's a farm of vets and hero here. Well, only hero on true farms. And then on emit, I have vets and hero and pulse over there. Those generate, right? The emission is the native tokens of each farm. And each farm, they're single-sided, distributes the native Ethereum DAI. So it's a stable token that you get from single-sided staking. Yeah, go to the very top left, and you see there. So the founder, Karos, he built this farm and his original emit farm. And the technology, the coding behind it, Neil can explain it if you want more detail behind it, is the more volume there is in general, like the APR goes up. If I'm wrong, stop me. But overall, it emits EDAI. And for us, for Hero, we're going to take the EDAI from emit and from True Farm and either buy Hero token and or add to the LPs of the respective protocols in that regard. So between the arbitrage bots doing their thing, this protocol, so we're just trying to create external revenue streams to feed the protocols, to keep doing the thing, regardless if there's human interaction. So if we're doing this right now, and would you mind pulling up the just go to Deck Screener and pull up the True Farm token, and let's look at that chart in awe. I mean, I'm in awe when I look at it. It's the best damn looking chart on Pulse Chain, if I'm going to say. It's doing really good. But the benevolency of this group, these founders, like, they're well-known founders. You got Hexecutioner, you got Neil, you got Daniel, and you have the dev. These guys have been in the community for a long time. People know of them, etc. I'm behind it. It's working as advertised, and we're at the bottom. So if we're at the bottom and we're making positive moves, like I can only imagine when things turn around, and it's only a matter of time when things turn around, in my opinion. So.
Yep. And one thing about True Farms, it is a protocol integrated farm, meaning True2X is integrated deeply in it, just like emit, but probably a little bit deeper. And like even today, we had a capital influx from True2X of around $5,000, right, nominally speaking. So 400 and something million pulse pumped True Farm today. So there you go. I mean, this is what we do with our system. And in turn, we're going to get some of that back as yield. We bring value to the system, and the users appreciate what we've done. So because of that and how we work with the flywheels that we have internally and all the mechanisms that True DeFi as the ecosystem has, we're able to generate this yield, comes in over and over again. And for us, it comes to stables, and we convert the stables to Pulse, push the price of Pulse up, and then bringing that Pulse into True2X. And then our partners like Hero, number 538 and True2X, they will be the beneficiaries of this capital injection. And so again, it's not a PB. It's not, we're not competing against each other, as if we all use the systems for even our own benefit, even selfishly, you would then by default support these other systems, even indirectly. And so because we are protocol agnostic and we're trying to build a DeFi system that takes away this competition, which is very difficult, but not having a token was like the biggest thing that solved a lot of that problem. Then the farm token and the emit token and using the DexFi services and stuff, as well as Vouch and others and RhinoFi and stuff, it helps support the greater Propulsion ecosystem. It's reciprocal with a lot of these protocols. So like RhinoFi especially, it's like reciprocal with them. Emit's reciprocal, True Farms obviously. And so all these things basically generate and go through the system and helps support and boost the yield and volume overall. And everything in crypto is based on volume. Without volume, you're dead. We've come up with a way to keep that volume going over and over again through the mechanisms and the things working behind the scenes with our contracts, as well as with the overall systematic design we've developed.
Do people entering into the protocol today pay out the people who have already entered into the protocol before today?
Yes.
Questions.
Yes.
Okay.
80% of every day's deposit goes to the mining pool, no matter what day you're in.
And that does sound very Ponzi MLM-esque.
Yes, that is the Ponzi part of the system. There's no doubt. Yeah. That is part of all systems. Is where does the yield come from, right? So you have the Ponzi part, which is yes. And if that's all it did, it would just be straight up, hourglass Ponzi, right?
And if no one enters in tomorrow or the next day or the next day ad infinitum, then the yield solely comes from the tax stuffs, the other protocols, the wherever the heck else, like whatever lines you guys already have cast out into whatever oceans and stuff, right?
Yeah. So if, let's say today, nobody came in. Today, this was the last day any user ever participated in True2X. What would happen is the SRE would continue doing what it's doing. The funding is already there. The system already is in place. The farmers are doing what they're doing. The stuff in DexFi is doing what it's doing. Vouch is doing what it's doing. It would continue to drop that capital into the system if nobody else participated. If everybody shut off more compounds, it'd be slower. That's it. But it would guarantee the yield coming in. And that's the difference. Because without that, it's just a Ponzi. There's no doubt.
Absolutely.
But with it, it closes that loop, which every system has a deficiency in. It's very, very, very difficult to design a system that does not have that has sustainability without some kind of outside capital injection. And we solved that through the SRE. Without it, it'd be worthless. But with the SRE, and we're at over 110 million pulse a day going into True2X from outside. And it's only going to get more and more and more because it gets bigger every day. Because of that, and we're at the bottom, like Fat said.
Yeah. So if you could, and like the SRE, the strategic reserve engine, as that engine is now getting primed and it's starting to get going, can you kind of explain the teeter-totter now that you've kind of touched on shares and how that works? Maybe just a brief overview. Sure.
Sure. So what's going to happen is if our models, and we've already showed it in reality, the deposit amount per day from the SRE is going to get bigger, meaning that the amount of impact the organic user has on the system is going to get smaller. And because of that, it's going to basically make the organic user, as time goes on, become less and less important. So the whole Ponzi thing goes out the window because you don't need these organic users anymore. Because as it is today, if everybody just left and just abandoned the system, took their money and left, the system would actually work autonomously. There's enough capital in the SRE as current sits with all the currently owned system-owned miners as well as the partner miners from the integration amplifier to run perpetually by itself without any organic users. It would just roll by itself. That's how the system is designed. Fresh capital comes in, it goes to the miners, it runs through the system, and they do what they do. They make deposits every day because they're all compounding. It goes back to the SRE, and the fresh capital comes back in. That's exactly what would happen. And we designed it that way on purpose to make people, the organic user, less impactful, because that's the hardest part in crypto is the human factor. Humans are fickle. Humans, they'll decide not to participate. They may leave. Hey, I got my money. I'm going to go buy a yacht or whatever. I don't know. So whatever happens in the system with people in the blockchains, they're going to do what they want. So you have to build a system that's not dependent upon the fickle nature of humanity and their whims. And that's what we've done. And we've done it successfully. And it so far is working without flaw going forward. And if you could see a chart and see the projection of where we are and where we could go, and we're only 60 days in, we are, by the time the next bear hits, we will probably have a 90% deposit rate just from the SRE and probably only 10% from organic deposits, which is massive. That means they're just getting yield and leaving, and we'll have a very short ROI time for the average user at that point in time.
And we have limits.
We do have
daily
deposit limits too. By the way, there's a deposit cap. Only and we can adjust. It's adjustable right now. I think it's at 25 billion, but we can adjust it down if we need to 5 or 8 billion per day, limiting how much people can get in every day. So there's like a whole bunch of people want to get in. We could limit them if we wanted to. So we try not to, because it's DeFi. People want to have control of the system, but there is a max cap. No more than 25 billion can come in any given day. So that also helps support the longevity and keeping any given day group from slowing down the ROI. We don't recommend doing it all. That's why we recommend DCA and N, slow, steady, and learn how the system works. Try it out, see what it's like, and go from there. I mean, you don't have to be in all in. I mean, it's not important. I mean, Pulse Chain's not going anywhere. The market's a crypto winner. You don't sell your tokens at the bottom. It's dumb. But if you can earn more tokens, that's what True2X offers. A way to earn more while we're waiting for the bull.
Yeah.
This is an interesting sell. Gentlemen, I'm going to do a hard break, and we're going to move over directly into chat. Motherfucking shout outs. We're going to talk to the folks at home who might have had some questions for us while we've been speaking for quite a while. So chronologically, from the beginning of the stream, we start out with Work for Crypto 2 or True2X something. Oh, the hero token ID is number 538. So there you guys go. That is the first thing that he put in the chat. So that's what I read. Next up, we've got Daniel Serbe. This is the first redistribution service of DeFi fees generated in the ecosystem to users and entire partners communities. Fees generated from services that users paid for services they want. Yes, so there is tons of middlemen services in Pulse Chain where there's a person that is in between the buyer and in between the seller. That's like, hey, I'm connecting you, so I'm taking something off the top. Whether it's a protocol fee, whether it's people, saying like, hey, I'm the middleman, then like a lot of those middleman fees, I guess, redirect over to this protocol. So there you guys go. We've also got Hexecutioner Win, who says, hey, Vets in Crypto, True DeFi supports our vets. That is good to see, good to know. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Hexecutioner Win. We're also joined by the lovely Miss Tam Tam, who says, hello, gentlemen. Hello to you too, Tam. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. We've also been joined by the famous MVS Crypto, who lets everyone know that the share rates from day one are about 30 to 50x lower than the current days. So I guess there's lessons to be learned from users about aping in on one day versus understanding the protocol. Obviously, guys, I said this here in the chats, but I just want to reiterate that the DGen Roundtable does not condone or endorse this protocol. This podcast is strictly for educational purposes only. So take all this info and do with it what you will. The important thing is to understand the stuff that you're playing in and not to throw all your money at it, despite all the fancy, awesome things you might hear or understand.
Absolutely.
So an excellent point from Mr. MVS Crypto there. Good to see you, broski. Welcome. We've got another chat from Mr. Sam D. Stevenson, who says, is the amount of pulse coming in a vanity metric for being good salesmen? AKA, or in other words, because others want this, you should want this. So you guys were saying earlier, there's 300 billion pulse that have gone in and things like that. So that is his question. We will come back to that since it is a question. very good question. Also from Miss Hex Pacific Northwest, do you have advice for the people who went all in on day one? We will come back to that one as well. Good to see you. Then some thoughts from our good friend Mr. Jonathan Navarro, crypto mechanical engineer, who says, sounds Ponzi, hard sell when Ponzi aspect is involved, brother. We have sort of kind of spoken about that a little bit, and then some agreement from Hex PNW. We've also got oh yeah, there's my reminder that this is for educational purposes only. And then Suppulse Chain already, again from Jonathan Navarro, Suppulse Chain already has a limited and divided user pool. The generalities of this project make it seem scammy. So that is some thoughts from him. And we will go ahead and go back to the questions. I think that's all the questions. Guys, if I missed your questions, forgive me. I'm just scanning the comments looking for question marks. I am rolling all alone here. And to answer your question earlier, Vets in Crypto, no, we do not have a producer. It is me. I am the man for unless Zenith is on with me or Brendan is on. It's basically just me, Zenith, and Brendan on the DGen Roundtable now. Everyone else has gone on to finer and greener pastures. So if the show is suffering quality style, then you'd have no one but me to blame. So there we go. All right, so the first question from my good brother Sam is: the amount of pulse coming in a vanity metric for being good salesman? Because others want this, you should want this. I will go ahead and
No.
toss that over to you.
No, it's all verifiable on chain. In the there's a contract address at the bottom of the table on the auction lobby in the miner page. You can click it and see, and all the deposits are there for everybody to see. So there's nothing hidden. It's what has come through the system. Now, it comes in a couple of different forms because there is organic deposits. There are compounds. So people on day one, for instance, who learned their lesson, have compounded into later days. Meaning the pulse, let's say they earn 10 million pulse for the first couple of days, and they compounded on day 20. Well, they got way more shares for that pulse than they did if they just held it on day one. And so they're earning an ROI time way better rate. And that's what happened. And so that pulse that's deposited as a compound is real pulse, and this comes in as it's counted as pulse deposits because it's not just there. But the TVL that's in the system is in the contract in the thing. So there's like 20-something billion pulse in the system as we speak. But it's all spread out over 60 days of deposits in different miners. So we say that I post a daily update every day on Twitter that this is what has come in, but it's not TVL. We don't claim it's TVL. It is what's through the system as users making decisions. Hey, I want to earn I want a lot of shares. Therefore, a lot of shares give me a lot of pulse. And I want to make my deposits on days with this very low deposits. And in doing so, I get more shares. Therefore, my ROI is faster. Hence the reason day 20 is the fastest day in ROI time in True2X.
It's interesting that you say that, because we have our follow-up question, and I'm going to come back to that question in a little bit because I think he was asking something else, but because you're talking about the different day, we'll go ahead and switch over to Miss Hex Pacific Northwest. Do you have advice for people who went all in on day one?
Yes. We tell everybody that if you went all on day one and you're not doing anything, and you haven't compounded and you're just waiting, you are basically extending the time to ROI by not doing anything. So we suggest people to either exit and come back in. You've already in profit. You're at a 1.26x or something like that. And so, or just compound. It's your choice. I mean, it's up to you. It's your pulse. But if you stay, you're only getting 0.00, I think, 1x in yield every day, compared to somebody who's in day 20 who's getting 0.15 or 0.2x a day. Big difference.
Because everybody on that day was fighting for shares.
Correct. There was 33 billion pulse divided by 1 million shares. It's 0.000. It's 4 zeros and a 3 shares they got per pulse versus day 20, which got 0.0012, I think 56. Massive difference. Over 100 and some X difference in share rate on day 20 versus day one, so to speak, in this instance. Hence the reason day 20 is the fastest, because day 20 had less than 1 billion pulse deposited. So those who deposit on that day or compound that day got way more shares than everybody else. proportionally for their deposits. Therefore, they're now almost going to 2x here shortly. Probably the next 30 to 40 days, they'll 2x or even faster. Depends on if we stay steady where we are. And we designed True 2X to be a slow growth model, not all in one day model. It was not designed to be all in one day. Because of that, it did all in one day. It basically front loaded the system, and it took the users. Now, look, we went through. Here's one caveat: we did a live, real on-chain test run with anybody who wanted to participate.
Yeah.
We had 20-something people who volunteered. They saw it work. And they said, "Look, if you do it this way, this will guarantee you a faster 2x." And did they do that? No. They all went on day one whole hog. But they saw, though, in those 11 days they participated, everyone who went a little bit every day, made a small deposit every day, they all 2x in 7 days. Now, had they done that when we launched the main thing, then we'd already had 2x's out the door. But the people chose. It's DeFi. Therefore, we can't control what people do. It's up to the user to make the decision, use the tools we give them. They chose to use it in a way that was to their disadvantage in time, not in value or yield, but in time. Right. And they're learning. And they're all getting really educated. And they're realizing, let me redo this. And they're doing it. So it's okay.
The learning curve, It just is
and it's okay. Nobody's lost anything. Day one and day two are all up. They're all in profit.
Yeah.
It's just that they're realizing they can make way more faster now by distributing their deposits across multiple days in their compounds, and they're earning they're getting their share rate.
Can we preface that with, so those people in the beginning few days, if they wait till at least a 1x before they exit, they're not losing any principal, and then they can redeploy?
Correct. Yeah. Don't exit if if you're in day 1 and 2. You're already at a 1.25 or 1.6x. You're already in profit. But if you're at day 3, 4, 5, you're just under. So don't exit. Don't exit. You can compound, but don't exit. But wait till you are at a 1x. But if you haven't done anything, you just sat stagnant, you can compound your earnings and you won't lose your position. And those earnings will come in days 60, 61, whatever it's going to be, and you'll get a way better share rate.
Yeah.
I mean, at least a 10x better, if not more. If you stay a day from basically everybody from day one to day 14 or 15 is at a smaller share rate than day 15 to day 60. Fortunately, that's and you can see that on the on our charts. We show that the share rate went up per person as time went on. The deposits went down per day. Now that's by design, and it's not a flaw. It's just how the system is designed. And there will be some.
You guys, hold on. You guys designed the system. You can't just say that's how the system designed. You guys did that.
Yeah, no, that's how it is designed. As deposits go down, share rate goes up. Is on purpose. It is a system design that was designed to entice people to come in on lower days of deposits. Let's say tomorrow only 1 million pulse comes in, okay, and one guy does it. He gets 100% of the shares of that day. That means he'd have over 900,000 shares. That one person did it and nobody else participated. He would probably 2x in about 2 weeks because he gets all the shares for that day by himself. He's the lone guy. He would 2x and gets 2 million pulse in 2 weeks. It'd be that fast because that's how the system works. Because he gets all the shares, right? But because there's system miners and partner miners and stuff, that's never ever going to happen because there's always going to be competition from internally. But the users, though, they're all competing over the same shares. And so myself, I'm a user. We're a developer. We're all users. We don't get nothing special. I have to put my pulse in like everybody else. I get nothing special. I participate like every other person, and so does Daniel, and so does Executioner. And we all are knowing when that day at 9:05 Central Standard Time a.m. is when the day ticks over. We're all waiting for that last few minutes. We're looking at who's going to make a deposit. Oh, we're less than $1 billion. Maybe I'll get in. I'll get a bunch of shares. And we all compete for that. It's called sniping. You try to get that last little bit to get a few extra shares for that day because those shares equal a faster ROI in pulse terms.
And funny you say sniper because this is not, that's the beauty of not having a token. You didn't have to worry about any of that junk like, man, it's just that's what got me excited. No token, like it's just it's the protocol.
Why did you guys include the Ponzi esque part, like the 80% of, like, why was that thrown in there as opposed to it not existing?
Well, you have to have a base value pool to pull from. Okay. If we only relied on the SRE, let's say we didn't have any of that, let's say mathematically, we had partners, we had 1XR miners and stuff, then the ROI time would be extended really, really, really long.
The true ROI, not the ROI of new guys' money funneling into old guy pockets.
No. When I say ROI, I mean in the net. That is, absolute ROI. Let's say you put $1 in and you have other things earning, but they only earn a nickel. How long does it take for that? It takes X number of days for that nickel to become $1 for you, the one person, right? Well, but if you put $1 in and there's 80 cents in the pool, you're already 80 cents ahead, right? And therefore, the 20 cents that has to come in to make it whole and multiply it times 2, right, is a less time. It's a function of math and what it takes to satisfy. See, we are a liability protocol, meaning we owe the user a 2x. That's what we do. It's a fact. So when one pulse comes in, we have to generate 2 pulse for them, right? It's just a fact. And we know that. And because of that, we generated a system behind the scenes to expedite the speed it takes to make that 1 pulse come to 2 pulse. In that, we had to go outside with the SRE and internally through volume to make that happen at the reasonable amount of time. If not, ROI extends unnecessarily long by not doing so. So it allows the users to come in. The users then in the front end now this is the thing. It's in the front end, the users dictate the ROI time by their deposits. But in the back end, the SRE is the one who's pushing people through at a faster and faster rate. So it just takes time to get to that point. We're only 6 days in the middle of a bear market. And on 2 days before Christmas or 3 days before Christmas, we launched this thing, or whatever it was, the 21st, whatever it was. And $500,000 came in, out blowing us away. We expect maybe, a most $1 billion, $2 billion possibly came in, not 33 billion. So it kind of blew us out of the water as developers. We're like, well, why are these people aping in? We told them not to, but they did anyway. So here we are now, with where we are, and it's okay. But we are designed to be multi-cycle. And that's an important thing because we're not here to be here just for now, but we're here to be here for on the next bear and the next bull in say 10 years from now, right? We don't have to we're not just here now and worrying about, the pulse and pulse is down and, it's going to pump in say a year or 2, or 2025, 2028. I mean, whatever year pulse pumps, that's not our point because we don't care about the price. We're here about units. Yeah. That's a big difference. And we're not trying to sell you anything either. There's no token to buy. So therefore it's pulse in, pulse out. What else you going to do? Here's a question for you. What else you going to do with your pulse? You got pulse in your wallet. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to be a validator. You can vouch, make a deposit. You go to UPulse. You can go to SD Pulse and deposit your pulse. It's risk-free. You get anywhere from 5 to 20% roughly APR. Right now, day 20 is over 600% APR in pulse terms. Yield. It's the fact.
80%,
it's the math.
80% of the value comes from other people signing on, as opposed to from something being done with the money that is like if I start a business and my business is I solve a problem, and 20% of the money that I make is from solving the problem, and 80% of the money that I make is from getting other people to join my business and then pay me, and then they get someone else to join and that pays them, and like 80% is a questionable number.
Only for now, because over time the SRE is building. That was the purpose of creating True Farm. They fast-tracked their roadmap to create the True Farm, and Neil can explain why to help that aspect of the generation
All right,
of the
so
shares.
of that,
Yeah.
all right. Here's what the thing with 80%. 80% was from every single deposit, meaning the organic user is one person. Remember, we have our internal system miners who get every day
We
grow.
touched on that. Yeah.
And so and they only go to a 1x, meaning they go to break even and they start over and do it again and again and again. As well as the partner miners, in this case, a Hero, a 538 integration amplifier partner, their miners that are associated with them are running through the system as well. And they're paying 80%, they're paying part of the 80% too. So 80% is not just the organic depositor, it's the system internally, as well as the partner miners that are fed through the integration amplifier program. So it's divided amongst 3 different groups as it goes through. So it's not just users, but the users become less and less important as time goes on because the SRE gets bigger and bigger. Our first SRE deposit was just under 6 million pulse on day, I think, 8 or 9. But today it's 115 million pulse on day 60. And it's going to get bigger and bigger because it's gotten bigger and bigger over time. So it's contributing more and more value to the system without any new users coming in. See, that's a big difference in value bringing in. And eventually it'll be, 150 million, then 200 million pulse, right? And so it doesn't take very long for that to get more and more to where it's all of a sudden equal to, say, if we're running about 1 billion pulse a day and it's a 500 million pulse, half of it's SRE, half of it's organic users. That's pretty good when you have value coming in from outside the system, and that's what it's designed to do, and it will get that way eventually. But nothing is built overnight. There's no magic place to make money appear from nothing, right? It comes through time. It comes through the system. It comes through users interaction. It comes through volume of the chain itself, the health of the chain, as well as good, proper, systematic design. So we're not saying we're the end all to be all and we're the only thing out there. We're not never claim that. And we never claim to be a one-shot, one-hit wonder that's going to make you a lot of money overnight either. That is not what we're designed for. We are designed for a long-term, basically savings account for your pulse. Allow you to double it, at most, double it in per miner. And it's your choice as a user to make to participate. And we're not saying anything more than that, but that here we are. We offer you an opportunity and solution to the current dilemma of where to do my pulse that I have in my wallet. Because if I sit on it, I get devalued. I can double it, have a 50% stop loss, and get twice as many tokens. And maybe when pulse chain pumps, I'll have twice as much money in my wallet. Hey, that's not bad. It's not a bad way to think about it.
This has been a fascinating podcast, gentlemen. I am coming up on a time constraint over on my end. I do apologize. Normally we go for about 2 hours. Before we go, though, Mr. Neil for T-Shares, where can the folks find you and what have you got going on in the near future?
All right. So, yeah, I'm at work number 4 crypto. I think it's on Telegram. I have a YouTube channel you can probably link to me here. I'm also dual streaming this on my X as well, Neil for Crypto. We are at truedefi.io. We have our links. We are at t.me / capital T little RU underscore capital P number 2X. Capital X is our Telegram. You come in here. We're always there answering questions. Our founder, one of our founders and our basically our CEO, Daniel, our token rider, he's always around too. He's based in the Philippines. And so, we are always around to answer questions and advice. So your question was like volume systems. I can't remember what I said. Anyway, that's where I'm at. You can get in touch with me. We're always around. But if you hit us up, you come to our Telegram. Ask. Look, we are open book. We have nothing to hide.
Hey, will you post your Telegram? I've been asking people to post your Telegram, please. Share it in the chat. Thank you.
I'll try to post it here.
Well, he is knocking that out. Mr. Vets in Crypto, where can the folks find you and what have you got going on in the near future, good sir?
Yeah, baby. Bang, bang. Let's go. Hey, man. Great informative show. It's a lot to take in. It's kind of like a fire hose. you know, I need to get back on the horse and do my own video and shows. And man, I kind of miss it. You get bit by the bug. But yeah, I know you're on a time crunch. Anyways, if you would maybe repost one more time for the kids at home the link tree, and they can find all the socials from there. Save you the details. If you scroll back in the chat, you know there's a lot of links. I covered Neil and posted a lot of his links for True DeFi, the farms and DeFi and all that earlier in the chat. So thank you everybody for tuning in and listening. It's a lot to take in, a lot of skepticism, sure. But it is what it is. I'm just, it's a good thing. It benefits a lot of communities. If you actually go to their website and you look at all of the different communities that are earning their native token shares in there, like the mechanics and the miners are always working. Like he said, they have their own miners that only go to a 1x and then they die off. It's helping the system. That's another way. But anyways, it's a lot. I'd say go to their Telegram. Their VC is always open all the time. There's great people in there, and ask any question, every question.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me today. Again, reminder for everybody that is watching, the DGen Roundtable does not condone this protocol. Neither do I, Will Stevenson, personally condone this protocol. This is for informational purpose only.
Absolutely.
I do not think that you guys should go out there and buy things. I don't think that you should go and start doing things. And like, if I'm being honest, gentlemen, like I am personally not sold on this product, though I thank you for spending your time and giving us all this fantastic information.
Well, I'm here to sell you.
So,
that's all.
That's what salesmen do. That's what salesmen do, is they sell their product. So like, look, guys, if you're at home and you have a whole bunch of pain and this thing solves your problem, then it's up to you to make your own decisions. All that I'm here to do is empower you guys with information. So you've had it here. There's been plenty of great points in the chats. There are plenty of great questions, plenty of great links and things. You guys can figure that all out on your own. And with that, I got to say, join us every 8 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, guys, here on the DGen Roundtable, youtube.com/DGen Roundtable. This Friday, we are covering the book How to Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte, a favorite author of mine, and a fantastic book. So come check us out over there. And then Sunday, we'll be covering the crypto's weekly news. And then every Wednesday, you guys can find us here doing these Whiskey Wednesdays, interviewing people, talking shit, hanging out, having fun, sometimes learning a thing or two. So there you guys go. And with that being said, I want to thank you all for spending your valuable time with us here on the DGen Roundtable. As Agent Jay often says, we know that time is your most valuable asset. We appreciate you spending that asset right here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Stevenson, but more importantly, you have been watching the DGen Roundtable, and I'm the producer tonight, so I got to get my own trigger finger ready because it's time to remind all the folks. Motherfucker, I hit it early.
Oh, can we get a cheer? How about a cheers? Oh.
To
There you
DGen.
go.
How about a cheers?